Let's test out the new shrink trap against every single troop. What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's video where we are going to show you each and every troop, shrink them with the brand new shrink trap and see how they fare when attacked versus the regular troop. This is the developer build, guys, and how we're able to show you the brand new shrink trap in action. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy it, and let me know in the comments section which troop you think will battle the best when it is shrunk. Make sure to subscribe, guys, for each and every one of my Clash of Clans videos. I'll be doing plenty on the shrink trap. As you can see, the barbarian getting shrunk to that tiny little figure. Not too different here with the archer as they move forward, and it takes that archer tower that little bit longer to take out the regular troop. That's because the shrink trap clearly shrinks the troops and it makes them do less damage. They're slower, they have less health. Just look at that tiny little giant. That sounds so contradictory, but as it moves forward, the regular giant is already smacking away at that archer tower and even takes it down before the little giant has even got the archer tower to half health. Obviously, a big strong troop like the giant versus a level 1 archer tower, it's gonna take it down. Now the goblin, interestingly, runs past the shrink trap and doesn't set it off, but once that trap is activated, the goblins will then get caught in it. They're not quick enough to just jump over it, guys, so as we bring the second goblin in, notice how it immediately gets shrunk and then taken straight out with the archer tower. Meanwhile, the regular goblin is able to take out that archer tower. Now the wall breakers are a little bit trickier to test, but we're going to try our best. Bring them in from the side, and as they cut across into the middle, they do indeed get shrunk. Look at them tiny little wall breakers. It allows the regular wall breakers to bust open that wall, and the little wall breakers to not really know what to do, run in front of the archer tower and then get taken out. Now the balloons are quite interesting because it is a popular troop, guys, but as they move forward, they're quite slow in themselves. But just check out how slow the miniature loon is. That regular loon looks so quick, powering its way to the archer tower, taking it out before the small loon even gets to the archer tower, but it does manage to take it out without the help of its larger counterpart before it boosts back up to full health and moves to the next defense. But the wizards, these are one of my favorite troops. Look at how cool that little wizard is, but packs such a punch as it moves forward, getting that strike on the archer tower, and it is indeed able to take it out before it goes down. Now the healers are a little bit trickier to test. They don't actually set off the shrink trap themselves because they're just hovering around in the air, but if the shrink trap is already set off, then they do, very similar to what you saw with the goblin, get influenced by the spell. The dragon's moving forward as well. Look at how cool that little dragon is. I love the shrink trap. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you like it too, and let me know if it is now your favorite trap, because it certainly is mine. As the P.E.K.K.A.s move forward, you can see the mini P.E.K.K.A. really still packing a punch similar to that wizard. Now we do have a battle between the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the P.E.K.K.A. Make sure to check it out. I will link it in the top right of this video right now. Definitely an interesting result. But as the baby dragons move forward, the visual effect of the shrink trap doesn't really seem to do much, but you can see that it has taken effect because the baby dragon acted so much slower than when it is not under the influence of that shrink trap. Now the miners, interestingly, they're underground. They just burrow their way right past the shrink trap. Didn't set it off, but as you've seen earlier, if the shrink trap is set off already, or if it is close enough to where they're going to pop up, then they will get affected by it. So as we move the trap right next to that archer tower, you can see the little miner there gets affected and is just that little bit slower than the regular miner over on the right hand side. So as we move on to the minions then, very similar to the goblins, they have so quick speed that they just blast their way past the shrink trap, not affected in the slightest, but once it is set off, a minion has already set it off, then the next one does fall victim to the shrink trap, doesn't in fact get over to the archer tower, and it actually needs the regular minion to come over and take it out. Now, the Hog Riders, personally one of my favourites, purely because many of you guys might remember back when we had ClashCon, the developers had a little bit of a troll war where they used altered troops, and one of them was the mini Hog Rider, and we get to use it ourselves in the form of the Shrink Trap. Now, the Valkyrie is so little and cute, look at it go, but it still has the regular damage to take out that archer tower quite easily, but again, the Shrink Trap does indeed lower the attack damage as well. So it lowers damage, it lowers hit points, it lowers speed. As that little golem, very much like a golemite moving forward there, I would love to see actually the golem bust into the golemites and have them even smaller. I think that would be pretty cool, but clearly a level 1 archer tower is not going to take this out. The regular golem though has already taken it out and is already moving back around to help the mini golem. As the witches move forward, the skeletons do not set off the trap. It requires the regular witch to come forward, set that off, but then subsequent to the witch being miniature, the skeletons that she spawns are indeed tiny themselves. The lava hounds, very much the same. They're going to fly right past the archer towers, but as you can see, once it is shrunk, just check out how much slower that lava hound is compared to the regular one, which just zips past it before the shrunken hound gets back up to full health, powers up, and powers forward. Onto the last troop then, before we move on to the heroes, the bowler. As it moves forward and is tiny, check out the size of the boulder that tiny little bowler throws. Make sure to leave a like for that bowler and let me know down in the comments if you think it is awesome that he can throw such a large boulder with such a small troop. Now check out the heroes. The king is probably one of my favorites just because he looks so tiny right next to that archer tower. But what happens when we use their ability? Interesting enough as well, the heroes and any other troop can be re-shrunk once they become back up to full size. If they walk back into that shrink trap, they will be re-shrunk. Let's try out the king with his ability. He's too quick for it. He flies straight past it, but then he's not smart enough. He turns around, walks into it, and gets shrunk himself. Let's check the Queen and the Grand Warden before we wrap up this video. So the Archer Queen, tiny little queen there, very, very cute as she moves forward to the next Archer Tower and is going to have no problem taking that out. So let's move on to the final troop, the Grand Warden. Make sure to let me know what your favorite one was down in the comments. I'm going to say the Hog Rider. Personally, I just love that tiny little Hog Rider hopping its way forward to the defense. I've been your host, Judo Sloth. Make sure to subscribe for more Clash of Clans, and until next time, peace out, guys. Stay tuned for more Clash of Clans.